don't the infection, you don't need the medicine.
Mette Fredriksen says that the bilateral relations between Ghana and Denmark, which dates back to 1958, will continue to deepen as both countries strive to enhance cooperation in various areas of development for mutual benefits. Now, Ms. Fredriksen, who is currently in Ghana on a 2-day working visit, has told some key areas of interest to the Danish government in the Tema Metropolitan Assembly of the Greater Accra region. Oforadako has more in the following reports.
Ms. Mette Fredriksen's first port of call was the Chemu Lagoon at Tema to gain first-hand information about its current state. Due to the lack of a sewage treatment plant, industrial waste and other waste materials are offloaded into the lagoon, reducing it to a heavily polluted receptacle of solid waste. The Chemu Lagoon is part of the strategic sector cooperation between the cities of Tema in Ghana and Aarhus, Denmark, with focus on water and waste management.
We are able to handle the industrial waste that come from the industries by way of a treatment plant, and then this could stop, and then maybe the lagoon can come back to life again.
There's some feasibility study going on to see whether rehabilitation of it can take care of the whole managing the waste, or there's a need for a construction of a new system and all that.
The entourage, including officials from the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, UNICEF and the Ghana Water Company Limited, accompanied the Prime Minister, Ms. Mette Fredriksen, to a local settlement at Site 2 in Tema. Site 2 is a densely populated community with an estimated 5,000 residents. Strategically situated in the center of Tema, it is among the communities to benefit from the upcoming Aveime water system being financed by the Danida Sustainable Infrastructure Finance. The project seeks to provide water for about 1.2 million people from undeserved communities.
You are facing a lot of problems, and we have been working together as two countries now for more than 60 years. It's quite a partnership, and I think a very strong friendship. And now we have to look forward to show and to underline that Denmark is ready to do our part.
The Danish Prime Minister's tour focused on the consequences of inadequate wastewater management in urban settlements and its impact on residents, especially children. For GBC News, Oforadako reporting.
Calm has returned to Boku and its environs following the imposition of curfew by the Interior Ministry yesterday. The Upper East Regional Coordinating Council has also banned the wearing of smoke in Boku to prevent criminals and unscrupulous persons from concealing weapons in them to cause mayhem. Correspondent Samuel Ayama has joined us on the line for more on the situation in the Upper East region. Ayama, if you can hear me, can you brief us about the latest situation regarding the curfew and ban on smoke wearing in the area?
Thank you, Sani. The situation is a little bit good now in Boku. Just this morning, the two sides, the Mampusis and the Kusasi youth, they had their press conferences, and all of them, they underscored the need for residents in the area to embrace peace. So as we speak, there is calm in Boku, but this morning there were gunshots again in the township. But as we speak, the security authorities, they have beefed up the security personnel in the area. So as we speak, the presence of security in Boku Township has increased. The personnel, that is the police and the military, they are there in their numbers, making sure that they protect lives and property.
Ayama, you've been going around town for some hours now since the ban took effect. What is the level of compliance?
Yeah, the level of compliance, I must say, is very high. Yesterday, the curfew took effect yesterday, and then exactly 4 p.m., residents, particularly those in the Boku Township, they were indoors till this morning, 6 o'clock a.m., They are out, but there were some gunshots. But the wearing of the smokes too, just like the regional minister, who is the chairman of the RISEC, said, sometimes most of the unscrupulous persons conceal guns in these their smokes and then perpetrate crime. So the compliance level in the wearing of smokes to the residents in the area, they are compliant. We moved around town after we finished the press conference, realized that you won't see anybody on the street wearing smoke. So I must say the compliance level is very high when it comes to the curfew and that of the wearing of the smokes in town.
Samuel, how is businesses faring with this situation now that calm has returned?
The businesses will come picked up now. There is tension in town. It's not that well with the town as we speak because of the gunshots. People fear to go about attending to their businesses as we speak. So it is going to affect the economic activity seriously in the area because most of the women there, they are in the market selling, and some too. We have one of the biggest animals markets in Boku, that is the Karayama market. These places, people fear to go there because of the gunshots this morning. So it is not easy for residents living in Boku as we speak, but the police and the military, they are on the ground protecting lives and property as we speak.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for bringing us up to speed on updates on this issue in the Upper East region. Of course, some good news that calm has returned in the Boku municipality following the mayhem that we witnessed in the last few days. Now, a summit on the development of northern Ghana is underway at Jirapa in the Upper West region. The summit is expected to more or less help bring in measures that will help bridge the development gap between the north and other parts of the country.
The Northern Ghana Development Summit is a platform instituted by the Northern Development Authority (NDA) and civil society organizations led by Star Ghana Foundation. This year's summit, the third in a series, is focusing on accelerating development of Northern Ghana through investments and partnership. The CEO of the Northern Development Authority, Mr. Sumaila Abdulrahman, said it is unfortunate that the northern part of the country is still lagging behind in spite of several interventions by government and development partners. The executive director of Star Ghana Foundation, Mr. Ibrahim Tanko, stressed the need for the summit to produce ideas to push the transformational agenda of Northern Ghana.
What should government of Ghana prioritize in the transition to Ghana Beyond Aid to fully harness Northern Ghana's development potentials and opportunities? The second question was, what necessary actions need to happen to properly resource the transformational development needs of Northern Ghana? The third, what role should development partners play to enable Northern Ghana assume its rightful place as a critical player and contributor to Ghana's development?
A former president of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambas, called for the introduction of entrepreneurial education to equip the youth with employable skills to reduce the unemployment rate.
Another summit that we may need, working of course very closely with educational authorities, will be the crisis of education in the north. What can we do to arrest this decline? Maybe we'll wait to see the results from this year. But if the results from this year are a repeat of what we saw last year, then something very special needs to be done.
A communique is expected to be issued at the end of the summit.
Now, did you know that the stars and the planets are believed to have an influence on human affairs, a person's character or disposition, as well as romantic relationship compatibility are linked to the person's time of birth? In other words, a person's interest, behavior, success, or failure in marriage or career are said to depend on the day that the person was born and the alignment of the heavenly bodies such as the stars and the planets at the time. Now, this body of knowledge comes under an ancient concept called astrology. A subset of astrology is the horoscope, which is basically the predictions of a person's future and circumstances or events in the world. Astrology has been in the world with us for more than 2 decades, more than 2,000 years rather. While some strongly believe in astrology, many others are skeptical and dismiss it as a myth for various reasons. Now, to help you understand more of issues surrounding astrology, your date of birth and what it means, we have in the studio an astrologer, Dr. Osei Tutu, to help us accept or reject this age-old phenomenon. Thank you so much, Doc, for your time. And I think we're going to enjoy this conversation because you help us appreciate some of the many things, whether misinformation or whatever surrounding this topic. Let's start with the difference between astrology and horoscope.
All right. Greetings to all your viewers and listeners. When we say astrology, astrology is a topic of, it's a subject on its own, and it's a science of stars. And horoscope is a subset of astrology. So that's what I can say about horoscope concerning to astrology. So
one is a subset of the other.
Right.
But quickly, do the positions of the planets and the stars actually influence the course of our life, or do they simply mark time?
All right. You know, we have stars. When we speak of stars under astrology, you know, the sun is considered a star. The moons, Venus, Mars, Uranus, Neptune.
All the planets.
That's right. No, we only have 9 planets. Yeah. We have more than millions of stars. But under astrology, we only have 9, which has a great influence on us on this planet Earth. So that's how it is.
So I would want to know what makes astrology so accurate, at least from where you sit.
Okay.
Some people are of the view that it's just a myth. Some people are just will not want to believe that the interpretation helps and is so accurate for them to understand what their lives is all about.
Okay. You know, it has a big evidence, or it has a great influence on each person concerning the zodiac sign. Like we have 12 signs. We have the first sign to be called Aries. We have Taurus, we have Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. These are the 12 signs under the horoscope. And the first sign starts from March 21st, where the orbits or the planets start from the Venus equinox, the equinox Vena. Yeah, so when it starts from the equinox Vena, it starts from March 21st, then it ends at April 20th. That's the first sign of the zodiac, and it's called the Aries. So there are practical characters and a lot of things that may let us know or that reflect on someone born under this zodiac sign.
In the build-up to this interview, you were having a conversation with one of my colleagues.
Yeah.
So she gave her date of birth, and you started to tell her her characters. In fact, I work with her.
Okay.
Many of the things that you said were so accurate about her. How do you come by this information?
All right. You know, before someone is being born, there are some informations which the stars will definitely impact on the person. depending on the date and time the person is being born, and it's automatic and it's very general. So as I'm speaking, we can cite an example using one of the zodiac signs. Then we will go through. If someone is out there challenging what I'm saying, the person can compare what I'm saying to his or her life. And just
so exactly what do you mean? But the person can call in, give the date of birth.
That's right.
So,
or the person can even assess himself or herself outside the screen.
So I was born on June 5.
Oh, okay.
1990.
All right. Someone born in June, it starts from May 22nd. That's where the June day starts from. And the astrology, the date doesn't start from first. It starts from May. Yours starts from May 22nd. Then it ends at June 21st.
So every person has his or her own date of commencement.
That's right. And beside, you know, under astrology, the feminine and the masculine, we all share the same character as it. So you being born on June 5th, right? Okay. You being born there, one, you resemble your mother. No matter who you are, if you are born between this month, May 22nd to June 21st, your resemblance must automatically be that of your mom. Because when you are born within that date, you are dedicated to your mother. That's it. So either by your physical appearance or by your character, these two things must automatically, one should resemble that of your mother. And beside looking at this, your mom will love you best. If you are May 22nd to June 21st born, your mom will love you best. Even if she's having more than 2,000 kids, you'll be the best of your mom. That's the first thing. Secondly, you are very studious in terms of learning, having the cognitive faculty. You are very best.
When we are done with this interview, I have to go back to my head of department and ask her whether what you are saying is true.
Oh, you can.
Okay,
can.
so go on.
So, yeah.
If you can.
And thirdly, you are very sympathetic. You know, you are very good in terms of giving. So people will owe you in many aspects. You know, people will loan you, people will take money from you, but they won't pay you back. And you know, you are very shy. Yeah, you are very shy. That's right. And beside, mentally, you are very good. You are very good. But you always need to control your temper because you always have quick temperament. Yes, and it should be always be under control.
Let's look at this from, we have a lot of questions, but time will not permit us.
Okay.
Let's look at this from the point of religion.
Okay.
Let's start. I want to know whether you're a Christian.
Oh, yes, I am.
And don't you think more or less activity of this nature are not in tandem with the teachings of the books, whether Quran, Bible?
Okay. All right. Astrology has nothing bad against religion. And astrology is the science of stars. We study the stars and predict the future, the character of people, and how people can be in marriage and all those stuff. So it has nothing against the Bible.
But if you check Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 9 to 12, it condemns this practice.
No, I don't think so.
Well, the production team may raise that.
Oh, okay. And have you gone in the Bible and at a part where our Savior Jesus Christ was born and his star was red?
But that doesn't mean that it was stated in Bible that it's acceptable.
Oh, if it wasn't.
In fact, in the verse that I quoted, it says it's disgusting to God.
Oh, I've read the quote you are talking of, and it has nothing against, because what you can say about that quote is the divination that it talks about. And when we say divination is just prediction or saying the future about something. And in the Bible, it happens uncountable.
So very finally, those watching will want to know how you acquired this knowledge. Did you go to school for it? Did you learn under somebody? Just how?
Oh, I can say it's my talent, because I never learned from anybody. Never. So it's something that it always comes in mind, then I practice, because it's very difficult to just have this knowledge in Ghana. Even if you try to do search on the internet, the information that they will provide to you won't be accurate.
Okay, so so very finally again, I want to know, do you do this for a living, or you're just helping people to understand some details that they may not be aware about their lives?
All right. I do this for a living because I did a lot to help people to know their destiny, their divine purpose in life, their life challenges. It entails a lot. And before we launched this year, that was 2021, I had an interview on one of the TV stations, and I predicted whatever will happen in Ghana, and they all come to pass. So it has nothing bad, or is very accurate. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much for your time. I think it has been very educating. Just that some of the things that you said also about my characters are true.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't know whether the people living with me will also attest same.
Yeah. Those being born under that same zodiac sign or horoscope will give the testimony.
Thank you very much. Dr. Osei is an astrologer and has been helping us to understand the issue of astrology and horoscope. In fact, I gave him my date of birth, and he said a lot about me that's true. If you also want to understand some details about your life that you don't know, you can also engage him for more information. Now, the whole airport in the Volta region was set to commence commercial operations in April 2021 after test runs were conducted. The construction of the whole airport began under former President John Mahama. The whole airport project, valued at $25 million, was completed in 2018. It has a traffic controller tower, a runway, a waiting area for over 1,000 passengers, and a bus terminal, among others, an automatic fire detection system. Volta Regional Correspondent John Salima has been observing activities at the airport and joins us on phone with more details. Jones, if you can hear me, what is the situation at the airport now?
Yeah, Sandy, good afternoon. Okay, so basically the hope was that the commercial operations will have started at the whole airport after the test run in April this year. But then, as we talk now, there are no commercial runs or flights to and fro from the airport. So there are no commercial operations at the whole airport as we talk now.
So are the workers there, and what have they been doing now that more or less they are not operating?
So as I said earlier, in April this year, the management of Africa World Airlines undertook the flight to the whole airport, and we were told back then that the test was for purely technical purposes. Officials of the airport also described the test run as a success, which was going to inform their next decision concerning the commercialization of the airport. Back then, at the ceremony, officials of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority also hinted of an interest by another local airliner, that is Passion Airlines, to also come on board to start commercializing the airport. But then for reasons nobody can fathom, I mean, the commercialization of the airport has delayed up till now. If you go to the airport, there are officials of Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, still running the place, but then the commercialization aspect that has been the hope of many Voltarians has not been materialized.
We've been told that on December 4, that is ahead of Christmas, the airlines will start operating. In fact, not just in Volta region, in the Upper West region as well. What has been the reaction from your side since this announcement was made?
Yeah, so since I saw the post by Passion Airlines on their Facebook page, I started interacting with some business community as well as students. And I must say that the reaction has been that of positivity. Now, for example, some students, especially the tertiary students, they are willing to, make use of the flight, especially so when the road, if you choose to go by road, the kind of photos and the bad nature of the road has informed some of these students to wanting to, choose the flight over going by road. So yes, within the business and then the student body, community, the signs are positive towards the start of the flight by Passion Airlines.
Thank you so much, Jones, for the update. Jones Salima is our Volta regional correspondent and has been telling us the state of the whole airport. In fact, we've been told that on December 4, which is more or less than 2 weeks away from now, the airlines will start operating. In fact, one of the airlines announced the fares that it will charge, and we hope that this time is going to materialize. Now let's come back to the Greater Accra region and in Tema, because it's been a week of free flow of traffic since the government announced a halt in the collection of toll at the various toll booths across the country. Tema correspondent Michael Diwanu is back at the Tema Toll Plaza and joins us on the line to tell us more of what the place has become since the announcement. Michael, if you can hear me, paint a picture of the facilities there since the collection of toll was suspended.
Hello?
Yes, Michael, if you can hear me, I'm asking for you to paint a picture of the facilities since the collection of toll was suspended.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like you are aware, after the reading of the budget, the Minister for Roads directed that tolls be suspended immediately and traffic has been flowing. And so that is how the situation has been like. Before I came on air, I just spoke with Mr. Al-Hassan Adam. He is the supervisor for the Tema Toll Plaza. And he's been telling me that after they came out to pour out their frustration with regards to what is going on, nothing has happened so far, and they are still appealing to government to come to their aid. And so in terms of structure, the structures are there, everything is in place. People are also wondering what will become of the tolls that are there. So, but in terms of traffic flow, everything is ongoing smoothly, and traffic is free flowing like you have said.
Well, Michael, we heard from the Roads Ministry that all these personnel will be absorbed. Have you asked them what the level of engagement between their leadership and the ministry is in terms of redeploying them?
Yeah, so there is no any engagement between them and government so far. I think just some 30 minutes ago when I spoke to him, he said there's not been any engagement. It's just been the same. They've not heard anything, and nothing has also been told them as what the next line of action is going to be for them.
A bit away from this issue, we also know on that long stretch, the Greater Accra minister has ordered Aboboya not to patronize that stretch for any reason. What has been the level of compliance so far since you gave us an update on that situation?
Yeah, true. So it's been in place and it's been enforced. You know, after the 1st November directive, some Babuboya drivers who use the motorway, and we spoke with them. They said they have not heard, and so are also moved into action, bringing some task force on the road. Some people were arrested, and since then, I have monitored the situation. I have checked situation on the motorway, and hardly do I see Abuboya on the motorway, especially those that had refuse with that truck. So the phenomenon I'm seeing now these days on the Tema Township is that I spot them once in a while in the Tema Township. And you know, in Tema, they use the wheelbarrow to cut their refuse. And so anytime I see them, I find out from them where they are coming from. And some of them tell me that they use the beach road and pass through Tema because they still have to go down at the refugee dump site. So that is the situation. In terms of using the motorway, they are no more using the motorway because the task force is on the road and they are ensuring that that directive is enforced.
Michael, we'll leave it here and come back for more when there is any development on that issue. Michael Duonu is our Tema regional correspondent. Michael, you want to share something with us?
Yes. There is this growing phenomenon on our motorway, especially just beside the toll. You know, these truck drivers who load their goods from the Tema motorway, they come and park just adjacent the toll. And it's a growing phenomenon, and a number of them. And when I checked and asked and find out from a few of them, some of them, they are journey money. You know, when you load from the port, you park there, you have to also reveal that some of them are trying to avoid the toll. And so they will be there and wait till their path is clear for them. Then they go without paying the axle load fee. And so those are the things that I'm picking up. But we would continue to monitor the situation and we'll continue also to investigate. This situation has been there for a while, and it's a worrying situation. These people, we don't know where they use as place of convenience and their washroom and all those things. It's becoming a nuisance in that place, and it's becoming a worrying situation. But we are keeping an eye on the situation and we'll continue to report accordingly.
Updates. Now, the government is pursuing a number of reforms to realign the country's educational system through the digital formats. For the Education Ministry, this will enhance teaching and learning effectively in all institutions. The Deputy Minister for Education, Reverend John Ntimfojo, announced this in Accra at the inaugural ceremony of the Association of Educational and Instructional Technologists, Ghana.
Technology is literally running the world. It keeps us connected to one another through electronic devices and social media. The world sees technology as a viable means of enabling large numbers of students to access education. These innovative ways of teaching has simplified lecture delivery, making it interesting and effective. Established 2 years ago, the Association of Education and Instructional Technologists Ghana is a non-profit entity. Its authority is to improve and transform teaching by way of using modern technological designs in the educational arena. For the association, all must embrace the new normal to improve access to education without borders. Dr. Josephine Labiapao is the president of the Association of Educational and Instructional Technologists, Ghana.
We are seeking to advance the use of technology in tertiary education and, of course, at all levels to effect access and quality. We seek to advance professional and personal development of AITG members and will adhere to professionalism in the execution of all duties, and mandates.
The Deputy Minister for Education, Reverend Ntim Fojo, said his ministry is all for collaborating with the association to promote digital education in the country.
The essence of educational and instructional technologists and men and women who are innovating and creating the tools and the platforms that will give us the opportunity to deliver learning in the 21st century way must be encouraged and supported.
The body was inaugurated with the theme, E-Learning, the role of educational and instructional technologists.
It's still News Hour 2, live on GBC News and on GTV. We are also live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We go for a break. When we return, we'll be telling you the very latest in the world of business.
That we wanted to address, but today the important issues regarding maritime.
So that's all about the headlines. So you don't burden the law enforcement agents. You find a way to
Thank you.
Calls to accelerate the harmonization of standards in the region, which is seen as crucial to increasing intra-African trade. Representatives of the ASO member states are discussing efforts to remove technical barriers to trade in Africa. It is the first council meeting since the General Assembly elected the Director General of GSA, Professor Alex Dodu, as the president of ASO.
Le rôle central que le Ghana a joué.
Ghana played a critical role in the realization of the AFCFTA. So we are meeting today to help accelerate the harmonization of standards to speed up the economic integration.
The chairman of Ghana's Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism, Mr. Carlos Ahinkra, urged member states to improve their standards regime.
I urge all national standards bodies in Africa to ensure that their laws and policies are modern and are aligned with WTO and ASO standards in order to boost intra-African trade. Once our quality policies are in line with the Pan-African quality policy, and once we use African standards, we will automatically reduce several barriers to trade and improve the ease of doing business on the continent. Of course, this will improve African industry and create wealth.
The Secretary General of ASO, Dr. Hermogen Nsengimana, said the heterogeneity of African standards has undermined cross-border trade. He called for close collaborations to remove the obstacles. The three-day council meeting will end on Friday, November 26, 2021.
The Association of Ghana Industries has commended government for reversing the benchmark discounts on selected products in the 2022 budget. At the 61st annual general meeting of the association in Accra, the president of the AGI, Dr. Yao Edujemfi, said the policy ran counter to Ghana's industrialization agenda has led to the collapse of some local industries.
The percent reduction in the benchmark value was definitely going to counteract the government industrialization transformation agenda, particularly the 1D1F, and truly improve us to do so. Most of our companies were affected, and we thank God that the government has looked at it and has now reversed this benchmark, which has definitely strengthened the growth and the competitiveness of our local companies. With this reverse, it definitely will become a relief, and indeed good news that the government has listened to the plea and reviewed this policy on behalf of industrial industries.
Ghana Union of Traders Association GUTA, in partnership with some relevant players in the import and manufacturing sectors of the country, have kicked against the reversal of the 50% benchmark value by government as presented in the 2022 budget. A statement signed by GUTA says the benchmark policy was introduced to save businesses in the country from collapse as a result of the high import duties at the ports. According to GUTA, prior to the reading of the budget last week, the call for the reversal of the benchmark value by the Association of Ghana Industries was uncalled for, as the conditions that warranted the benchmark value still exist. They called on the AGI to desist from what they term as disuniting the business community, and that will lead to a drag in the development agenda of the government. Let's have the interbank and commodity figures for the day.
All right, very much, Sani. Currently, I have the research director of CDD Ghana, Madam Mavis here. Madam, tell me what these trainings seek to achieve at the end of the day. What are some of the things your outfit is expecting?
Thank you. We are holding consultative meetings across all the 16 regions, seeking views into the elections or not of MMDCEs across the country. If you look at the various surveys that we have done, including our recent one, shows that Ghanaians are calling for the elections of MMDCEs. Even that, just the past election, 2020, both major political parties have committed to that. And in 2019, the government did put in place a roadmap so that they will change Article 243 and then 5.5 of the Constitution, one to allow the MMDCs to be elected, and the other to allow partisan participation with local governments. The referendum slate for the 2019 didn't come on. Right now, we are doing consultation to seek views into this. What is the best way forward, particularly with the format for electing MMDC, because there seems to be a consensus. A majority of Ghanaians want it, and also political parties want it. But the issue more or less is around what is the format. So we are seeking views, and we are talking to assembly members, we are talking to chiefs, traditional leaders, we are talking to media, we are talking to the various political parties.
So for now,
talking to CSOs.
What has been the response now?
We are seeking views and we'll collate that. And so there have been varying views on what format they want and what are the intended reforms we can put in place to strengthen local governance at the local level. So It has been good, it has been positive so far. Varying views have been collated on these issues.
Okay, I have the paramount chief of the Bongo traditional area, Baba Salfo Lemyaram, here with me. You took part in this sensitization or this forum. How will you describe the collaboration between you, the chiefs, and that of the various districts in addressing some pertinent issues in your catchment areas?
Thank you very much. I must say that the discussions we've had today with CDD Ghana in connection with the subject matter was very interesting, and I think we have debated, and the need to elect MMDCs, is not of a doubt. We all support that idea, but the issue is whether it should be partisan or non-partisan is what we are now looking at. But I must say that the collaboration between we, the chiefs, and then various district assemblies. I'll speak to my district assembly. I have a very good working relationship. I collaborate with my district assembly very well because they see me as a major collaborator of the assembly. And so there's no doubt about that.
So going forward, what are some of your expectations after this forum?
Yeah, I think after this forum, we seek to have the review from the president and government, in connection with the elections of MND this.
A colleague in the Upper East region engaging with leadership there on the impact of the creation of districts and new constituencies there. Let's go for a break. We return with the details from the Global Front. On a global front, Burkina Faso has extended its suspension